Folks, we are not in a good place. Whatever you want to call it, a second wave or a resurgence of the first wave, our COVID-19 numbers are up again. Now, I know that it's been 8 months since we recorded our first case and that the fatigue is setting in. We're getting tired of wearing the masks. We may even forget to wash our hands and sanitize as often as we need to. Or perhaps occasionally forget and shake hands and be too close to one another. It happens. We're human beings, and understandably, we get complacent, tired, relaxed even. In the beginning, we were driven by fear. Fear of the unknown, of this tiny unseen monster. So we took every precaution. Now that fear has been replaced with sheer complacency, some form of national recklessness. We ask questions like, is it even real? Or is the government faking it? Are those numbers even true? We're now making justifications for our laxity. Why follow the rules, we ask? After all, the politicians are not. They're holding massive rallies. They're acting like COVID-19 does not exist. And you know what? You would be absolutely right. However, just because they behave the way they do doesn't make COVID-19 any less of a reality. The fact that there may have been mismanagement of billions of shillings meant to fight the pandemic does not mean that the disease is not real. Listen, folks, two things can be true at the same time. It is true that politicians are behaving like the guidelines do not apply to them. And yes, it is also true that COVID-19 is with us and the number of infections is rising. You see, folks, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can call out the political class and still practice the guidelines to keep ourselves safe at the same time. By all means, please demand truth and accountability for how the COVID-19 billions were spent, but still practice social distancing, wash your hands, and wear a mask correctly at all times when in public. Call out your favorite politician for holding a rally in complete defiance of the guidelines put in place, but remember to wash your hands too. Imagine you're allowed to scoff at the irony of the same president who addresses large gatherings that completely ignore social distancing, who is now calling for an extraordinary summit to address the rising cases. But while you do that, please do not forget to wear a mask and wear it properly. We can still condemn the Ministry of Health for lack of proper healthcare systems, for poor testing capacity, but while at it, still practice the safety guidelines at a personal level. What I'm saying is that we can do both. After all, you sitting there scoffing, folding your arms in resignation, saying that they should be the ones to do it first, helps no one, least of all you. Remember, if they get sick, they can afford the best care. Can you? They can now travel abroad for specialized care and hire the best care and machines in their own homes when they get sick. Can you? To argue that it is not real simply because the politicians are not doing the right thing is foolhardy and makes you no better than they are. And with over 1,000 people in hospitals across the country, close to 40 in intensive care, and another half of those on ventilatory support, and with the death toll nearing the 1,000 mark, with the reports emerging that we are once again running out of intensive care units for those that need it, we need no more evidence that COVID-19 is real. In the absence of a vaccine and a cure, the fight for survival can only be an intensely personal matter. So stay safe, everyone. That is my take tonight.